I'm Larry Kaufman, President and CEO of Yankee Alliance. Again, it's great to be in front of you. I have the privilege and honor of introducing to you a man who has spent his career serving his fellow man. If you think about it, working in healthcare, that's what you do. You're serving your fellow man. Steve Grubbs serves as President and CEO of Covenant Health. In prior roles, he was CEO of Bay Medical Center Sacred Heart Health System in Panama City, Florida, housing 3 campuses and the region's only Level 2 trauma center. Mr. Grubbs was also the CEO for Paris Regional Medical Center in Paris, Texas, the other Paris, CEO of Regional Hospital of Jackson, Tennessee, part of Community Health Systems, spending 14 years with CHS in CEO and CFO roles in Tennessee and Pennsylvania. Mr. Grubbs earned his undergraduate degree from the University of Kentucky, go Wildcats, and his Master of Business Administration from Bethel University. He is a member of the Board of Directors for Covenant Health and is chair of the Yankee Alliance Board of Managers. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Steve Grubbs.
Good morning, everyone. Good-looking group. I was thinking as I was listening to Larry do my intro. Thank you, Larry. What a great introduction. I was thinking about this time last year. You know, here we're celebrating the 37th anniversary of this event, which is pretty amazing in and of itself if you think about it. 37 continuous years of being able to come together, share experiences, collaborate, and so forth. But I was also thinking about last year. Same room, same setup, little different environment last year. If you remember, we were all dealing heavily at that time with an IV shortage. Remember that? Fast forward a year, and here we are dealing with a governmental shutdown. So, you know, one thing is for certain, things change, and they change rapidly. I also see that I've got a timer here, so I'm going to be really adept and try to stay on time and move quickly so you can hear from the really important person that needs to speak to you this morning, and that is our CEO of Yankee Alliance, Larry. So with that said, let me jump right in. Mission, all of us, we're familiar with the mission of Yankee Alliance, and you know, we're here to work collaboratively to reduce our supply expense and improve our operations. But we do that through cost reduction, innovation, and collaboration. Collaboration is the word of the morning, so please keep that in mind as I go through my slides. So our board of managers, I think I saw Darlene in the room. Darlene, if you're here, will you wave your hand? Thank you. Darlene, President and CEO of Berkshire Health System, also Vice Chair of the Supply Chain Solutions Board. In addition to myself and Darlene, you see David McCready. David couldn't be with us this morning. He's President and CEO of South Coast Health System. Andrew DeVoe, CFO and Treasurer of Tufts Medicine. And Amy Brewer, our newest member to the board, President and CEO of Sturdy Memorial. So really a great board. Really enjoy working with these individuals as we look to move forward issues relative to Yankee Alliance. So what is Supply Chain Solutions? Really, bottom right part of this, you can see the 8 member owners, geographically how that's diverse amongst the different facilities that are part of these owners. So quite a bit of diversity throughout New England is what you will notice there. So when you look a little further at Supply Chain Solutions and the LLC under Yankee Alliance, you see a little more diversity. So I'll pause there and let you study that slide for a moment. And then we come to our partnership with Premier. I'm not sure if that's, yeah, that's Andy call. No, it's not. But, you know, we've enjoyed throughout our history a fantastic partnership with Premier. And so glad that both Andy and Kevin have joined us again for this conference. They're so supportive. Andy, you've got a presentation later this afternoon. I look forward to sitting in on that, so thank you, gentlemen. But what does that give us, that partnership? Obviously, national purchasing power. And then the ability for us, to translate that as its core, as the backbone into items that are really important to us as members. Speed to value, data-driven, pragmatic, tested, and proven. And I think when you look at the initiatives and the value adds that Yankee is able to produce for our members, those words should come to mind. So when you look at our key partnerships and collaborations, obviously you see all of these value-added components, and I'm going to speed right through this. Value-added obviously is very, very important when you consider what we do as a collaboration of member organizations coming together working with Yankee Alliance. So our focus now and forever, we're going to be member-driven, value-focused. I think that was true of the founders when they envisioned what Yankee could be, and it is true today, 37 years of celebrations, annual meetings later. We're going to work together. We're going to share information. We're going to share best practices. I know we do that at the board level. We certainly do that with the information that's provided to us through our Yankee associates on a day-to-day basis. So this really works. And we're, in the process, we're going to improve for all members cost, quality, and operating efficiency. So we're looking forward to the future, not knowing what that future holds. Our future is obviously a little bit in doubt right now. If you are like me, and not everyone in the room, I realize, is a hospital or health system operator, but we've heard of that big bill called H.R. 1, or the One Big Beautiful Bill. Certainly has our attention. We see a lot of analytics that talk about what this bill will do, what it means, how it's going to translate into the financial hardships for health systems. But the truth is, we really don't know. We're guessing. But we know one thing is certain: we've got to be prepared. That's why, in my mind, what we do here, what we do with you, our member hospitals, with you, our valued partners, is we work for those solutions and we look for those opportunities that creates value for hospitals and health systems, and others as well. So the future, I mentioned the One Big Beautiful Bill, H.R. 1. So important that we think about that, but we think about what we do here in light of what that means, because as we move forward in the years to come, next year, the year after, finding every opportunity to be more efficient, not sacrificing quality in any way, but to be more efficient is going to be more and more important as we go forward. Reimbursement models will continue to shift. I believe, I keep this in my presentation year over year. When Jody White, who was the chair of the board prior to myself, when he was chair of the board and he stood before you, I remember him saying this, and he said it so well. He said that, in the future, hospitals and providers will be paid to keep our communities healthy. And that is so, so very true. Hard to think about those things when you're working day in and day out, just to make sure all bases are covered and we're taking care of patients. But the reimbursement model is shifting. And that shift is really one that has a focus, a lens towards, are we keeping our communities healthy? Cyber attacks. How many in the room within your organization have ever experienced a cyber attack? Yeah, I would say at least half. Unfortunately, Covenant Health had that pleasure this past year. And in fact, this afternoon, myself, Uday Madasu, Stephen Forney, our Chief Financial Officer, we're going to lead a panel discussion on what we experienced and hopefully share with you some tips and some information that could be helpful to you We hope and pray that never happens at Covenant Health again, and we're doing everything we can to prevent that. But we're willing to sit down and have a conversation with you, learn from you, and share with you what we experienced, and perhaps some things that you should consider if you haven't already. So if you haven't already, circle that on the agenda and plan to come and join us. Okay, so care settings will continue to shift from traditional care sites to the home. True or false? Yeah, true. At Covenant, we believe that, and we're doing everything we can strategically to prepare for that. You hear those taglines, care at home, remote patient monitoring, telehealth, not so much of a tagline anymore. You can see how the care is shifting more and more from a hospital bricks and mortar setting to let's provide care, but let's do it in the home setting. And we've got to stay in front of this technology. We've got to stay in front of this movement. So very important. Digital access to care, obviously that's very important. The way we access our providers and our hospitals today, different than ever before. We're able to go online and research our providers. Dr. Google is there and can help us even diagnose ourselves before we see a provider. Then we can schedule the visit. And if you're really lucky, you schedule a visit, maybe it's a week or two out, and they have a cancellation. Well, the digital technology pings you and says, hey, we've had a cancellation. Would you like to fill in this spot? So it's amazing what digital is doing to open up patient access across this continuum of care. Artificial intelligence, we must embrace that. And I say that with a little bit of a caveat, and that is we must embrace it, but we've got to be very, very smart and diligent about how we embrace it. Because as you might imagine, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to embrace artificial intelligence. Not all of it is going to be truly vetted and tested. And we want to make sure that if we're going to participate, you're going to participate, that it's truly vetted and tested. At Covenant, we've set up an AI Governance Council. And last year, in fact, our guest speaker spoke on this topic. So we took that to heart and took that back to our organization. I hope you did as well. But it's important to have governance around AI, how you're using it, what you use, how it's selected, what are the rules of engagement, and that sort of thing. Clinical variations in care. I know I benefit, as do many of you, every day from the work that is done at Yankee and the various committees around sharing and exploring variations in care. And so very, very important. Now we know that we can share data. Data highlights variations, and those variations then can be adjusted or managed to reduce and eliminate waste and inefficiency. And I think that's going to continue to be the theme. I mentioned the One Big Beautiful Bill earlier, and as we become more efficient and we look for ways to be more efficient, clinical variations in care is going to be one area where we're going to double down, and we're going to focus on that to make sure we're doing everything we can to eliminate inefficiencies and improve our operating costs going forward. Data. Our data has value. And as a membership of Yankee Alliance, as a membership of partners even, the data that we produce and can consolidate has such data. Don't know what that means. I don't know how to use it. But there are very many smart people in this room that probably has ideas and thoughts around that. And but we have to understand in this day and age, a day and age based on AI, based on digital access, based on other elements of changing care, our data is so important. It'll identify trends. It'll identify opportunities for us way before we could have done it manually. And finally, collaboration. I really mean this when I say the importance of collaboration is greater than it's ever been before. And so that's why I thank each and every one of you for being here today, because that collaboration is key to our success collectively and individually. And to be able to come together and share ideas, thoughts, best practices, innovation will make all the difference, and has for the past several years, and will continue into the future. Key partnerships. So I thought I would take a moment and share with the crowd key partnerships from Covenant Health. And hopefully this is helpful to you. I don't know if it will be, but it is for us. And if you're a key partner, it means you're tried, you're tested, you're vetted, you're bringing value. Obviously, we have many more partners than this as an organization. But these are the ones we consider to be our key partners. So obviously, group purchasing, supply chain, we have Yankee Alliance and Premier at the top. Value analysis, again, Yankee Alliance, Premier, right there. We look at IT and IS. We made the decision several years ago, I believe it was back in 2023, that we would outsource our IT operations. So we did that at the time with a company by the name of Long 80. Long 80 is a partnership between NeuroElm and Premier. Both organizations are here today, and I know that they had a booth set up in the vendor hall. If you've not had a chance to talk to them, and that is something that you want to consider, I don't think it's limited to just healthcare organizations. I believe they can bring value to any organization present in this room, but we have found great value in that partnership and that relationship. If you come to our talk a little later today about our cyber attack, you'll understand that a little more. But it truly has brought value for Covenant. We went into it with the idea that we needed to, find a way to solve our issues around recruitment and retention. The talent was escaping faster than we can attract it. And technology was changing very, very rapidly. So we found this partner that had experience in this space. Smaller, nimble, has made all the difference. They gave us a projected savings. I will say to you, they're on track to meet and or exceed what they told us on the front end, and we just continue to be very, very pleased with Long 80. So enough about the commercial on Long 80. If you have not talked to them, talk to them. And then our electronic health records, we use, of course, Epic for our acute care, and then we use point-click care for our post-acute care facilities. And then finally, revenue cycle. Again, an outsourcing decision we made several years ago following our Epic conversion, realizing we needed experts. And we weren't so proud that we weren't going to look for those folks, and we found Ensemble, and has made all the difference. In fact, Mr. Forney will be the first to tell you that because of Ensemble, because of our partnership, we have won the HFMA MAP Award for end-to-end revenue cycle operations for the past 3 years. So it's made a tremendous difference for our organization. I'll finish with this quote from John Maxwell. It says, "Cooperation is working together agreeably. Collaboration is working together aggressively." And there's a world of difference between the two. And I would so agree with that, and I really view what we do as collaboration. We work together, doesn't always seem that way, but we're working together aggressively, and that's what we need to continue to do. As member organizations of Yankee Alliances, as partners of Yankee Alliance, we have got to continue this philosophy of collaboration, working together aggressively to make all the difference. What could we achieve if we do so? You can see some of the things there that will be the benefits of our labor, working together and working collaboratively. So those are my comments for this morning. Again, welcome, glad you're here. It's been a great event so far, and we look forward to seeing you. I look forward to seeing you and getting to know you throughout the day today and tomorrow. So thanks for your time, thanks for your attention, and I'll turn it over now to Larry Kaufman, President and CEO.
All right, that was great. Let's show a little bit additional appreciation to Steve for that great talk. Appreciate it. Well, I am excited to be able to talk to you this morning, and probably the biggest reason I'm excited is you're all going to have an opportunity again this year to meet my awesome leadership team. So if you guys want to come on up to the stage, that would be great. Watch your step. And while they're coming up, let me remind you that this session goes through tomorrow morning, and I'm not going to say we're saving the best for last, but we do have our keynote speaker who's going to be speaking tomorrow morning, and we really suggest that you stick around for that because, again, he is a bit of a futurist, also going to be talking about AI, very well known. You might not know him, but we're real excited to have him here. So stick around for that. And just as my mom had to tie a bone around my neck to get the dog to play with me, we're going to have the raffle tomorrow morning at that time as well. So there might be a little added incentives to stick around. So I know everybody has places that they need to go, but if you please can stick around tomorrow morning for what we have going on today. So, good looking group, right? Thanks for being up here, guys. Thank you for being here today. Over the course of the next 2 days, we will get to know each other a little bit better, learn from each other, identify opportunities for collaboration, explore opportunities for bringing value to one another, which, as it turns out, is what we spend, you spend, all of us in this room spend doing the other 363 days a year, maybe a day off for Christmas or some other holidays, but it's our focus. In the next 30 minutes, we will walk you through our approach for maximizing value of the alliance we call Yankee. In addition to hearing from me, you'll hear from this great team about their efforts and some things they want you to know about as well, working to bring value to our members. A common thread, you've heard it already today, tying everything together will be member focus and engagement, reinforced by member alignment. But before we get started, let's level set and get to know you all in this room a little bit better. I have 2 questions for you this morning, but first, think about our current situation. You've heard a little bit about this already. Would it be fair to say, you are here, we are here? But that's not my question. While each of you might have some thoughts to add to these, unfortunately, we really, honestly, can't remove any of them from that screen. So here's my question, and you will need to use the conference app to respond. So open the app, go to the featured sessions, click on the title of this session, and then scroll down a little bit, and let's hear from you. How are you feeling? So please use the app to register your response, and let's start to see the temperature in the room. Interesting results so far. Keep going. We'll leave it open for a few more seconds. All right, I see most faces looking up. Anybody think that's predictable? Anybody surprised? Raise your hand if you're surprised. Yeah. Let's talk later and see why you're surprised. So we're kind of all over the place. Can't see all the percentages, but you can see, if not the highest, we're at very negative, overwhelmed, anxious, or unhappy. So soak that in. Appreciate sharing. I have one more question that might seem like the first question, but it's not. How are you doing? Let's start to see. It's tough. All right, is it fair to say everybody's finished? Okay. So it just might feel like you are here? Everybody, to some degree. A lot going on. So, what is the path forward and where can we find our solutions? To answer, let me start by sharing the following 3 quotes with you. I'm going to read these, you read along with me. No single organization can fix healthcare, but every organization can make it better. Collaboration across systems, suppliers, and communities isn't a strategy anymore, it's survival. Consider Yankee Alliance and other organizations like Yankee Alliance as you think about that. The economics of healthcare can no longer be managed by trimming at the edges. The true progress will come when financial stewardship and clinical excellence are no longer competing priorities, but shared goals. And one more. American healthcare stands at a crossroads, caught between extraordinary medical innovation and an unsustainable business model. The challenge before us isn't capability, it's alignment of incentives, data, and purpose. Abigail Ivanov. By the way, if you're familiar with Ms. Ivanov, let me know. Reach out to me after this session or any time during the conference. I'd love to talk to you. So what is the path forward and where is the path forward? We are all familiar with, and likely you are pretty good at solving technical or complicated challenges, or you wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be in this room. But given where we are right now, it's becoming painfully clear that we must solve adaptive or complex challenges. So I would like to propose that while none of us has all of the answers, our best path forward to addressing complex challenges is through partnership with one another. Together, we can assess, adapt, and overcome. That should sound familiar to you all. By providing focus through steering committees and advisory teams, many of which you already heard Steve mention, by acting as an extension of our members' teams, mining for opportunities on the macro, by learning from other systems and providers within the industry, and on the micro, through analytics to understand you and your opportunities, assess, adapt, and overcome. By bringing industry knowledge to your decision making. Value analysis and Bluepoint are great examples, using evidence-based best demonstrated practices to drive improvements in utilization and patient care. Assess, adapt, and overcome. By making us more aware, more knowledgeable, and smarter, collaborating with other providers, systems, and yes, other collaboratives. The strength of our alliance is not in the name, but in our behaviors. So this is a call to action. Reach out to us with ideas, issues, challenges, and solutions. Whether a vendor or a member, value will come through connection with us, engage with us, participate with us, help us be a part of your solutions. Through communication with us, we share and achieve speed to knowledge. Through commitment to one another, we achieve alignment and opportunities which individually are out of reach. Perhaps our best chance to survive and thrive in this one big, beautiful bill environment is with connection, communication, and commitment. To understand the energy and effort focused on bringing value, I'm excited and I would like to introduce you to the people and structure that make Yankee work. With Steve already introducing the board, let me introduce to you the other teams and people diligently at work behind the scenes. The CFO Steering Committee, Clinical Laboratory, Linen, Rapid Improvement Collaborative, Pharmacy Advisory Committee, Supply Chain Steering Committee. Let's start. I want to call out these people because whether they're here or not, you need to know who they are. Our Supply Chain Steering Committee, hold on, I'm going to go fast. Jack Hinault from Berkshire, Dave Texera from South Coast, Eric Berger, Covenant Health, John Gugliotta, Tufts, Randy Sears, Concord, Mike Cordy, Sturdy, Don DeLauret, Sturdy, Tim Huber, Wayne, Deb Trumbull, Nathan Littauer. The CFO Steering Committee, Scott St. George from Berkshire, Mike Bushel, South Coast, Steve Forney, Covenant Health, Scott Sloan, Concord, Mike Ostrander, Nathan Littauer, Amy Pfeffer, Sturdy, Pat Dunsinger, Wayne, and Andrew DeVoe, Tufts Medicine. The Lennon Rapid Improvement Collaborative, don't worry, too many here to call out by name, but each and every one doing great work. The PPI Committee, Jack Hinault, Berkshire, Lisa Green, Concord, Eric Berger, Covenant, Mike Cordy, Sturdy, and John Gugliotta, Tufts Medicine. Clinical Laboratory Committee, Mark Robert, Berkshire, Jody Panzino, Concord, Steve Forney, Covenant, Billy Joe Sickler, Covenant, Ron Fortes, Nathan, Eric Baker, Nathan, Chuck Kennedy, Sturdy, and Tim Landerville, South Coast. And finally, the Pharmacy Advisory Committee, again, too many dedicated members to call out individually, but run your eyes over them if you don't mind. Throughout 2025, these people and teams who you just met, working on the initiatives you see here and others, transitioning the majority of our partners to Ascend Drive and focusing on clinical engineering, linen, physician preference items, capital savings, in addition to reinventing our purchase services initiatives. And into 26, focusing on these. To tell you more about our focus, our initiatives, and our accomplishments, right now I'm excited for you to hear from our leadership team, starting with Melanie Kowicki, Yankee's Chief Financial Officer. So welcome, Yankee, to the Melanie. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Larry. Good morning, everyone. Well, let me just start by thanking you all for joining us here this week. The Yankee team truly appreciates you being here. And now I just want to quickly highlight the financial value Yankee brings to our membership. As an alliance, we collectively, and when I say we, I mean all of us in this room working together, we pushed back just shy of $50 million to our membership this year. That represents a return of about 3.6 for every dollar invested in Yankee, pushed back to our membership in the form of cash, technology, and savings, where the majority of that is coming from all those savings opportunities identified during the year, which turns in or produces realized savings to our membership. And as you all know, these numbers, they will grow. They'll continue to grow as we strengthen our commitment to one another, drive further alignment with one another, as we're working through all those initiatives that Larry just mentioned, and as we enter into future initiatives, whether that's on the contracting side or the operational side of things, leading us all back to why Yankee was started in the first place. It was organized to generate savings, focusing on cost reduction by working together. And that's all I had today. I want to thank you again for being here. Have a wonderful week. And now I'm going to pass it off to Amy Campbell, our Chief Operating Officer.
Good to see everyone. It's been a great conference so far. Thank you so much for being here. I wanted to talk about partnership, the power of partnership. And when we say that, we obviously mean our members in partnership with each other. We mean our partnerships with suppliers, but we also mean partnering with other organizations with the same mission, providing value to their members. So we have been collaborating with SRHO for some time now, and one recent example of the benefits of that collaboration is 3 of our members were able to reclaim $250,000 in unclaimed funds. That was recovered. So we're going to continue to do our work with SRHO. We are actively working with Capstone right now to look if there are opportunities to contract in alignment with them that would bring greater value, even greater value to our members. And we're talking to Advantis and other organizations about the possibilities of partnership. That's it from me. Dwayne Bragg's up next, our VP of GPO Operations. That's your 3rd title in, I think, 3 years.
All right, thank you, Amy. So the theme of the day, as you heard, is collaboration, so I'm going to continue that theme. Here are the initiatives that we're focused on this year, and every single one of them is going to require member engagement and collaboration to be successful. Starting with the committed programs, this last year, our members had some enormous success with the premier committed programs. And at Yankee, we want to build on that success this year. We're taking a look at, can we build our own Yankee committed program? And we want to start with categories that are commodities, something that's easy to convert, and with very little physician preference challenges. So we hope to build on that success and create that program for our members. The other thing we're doing this year is we're working with our purchase services partner, SpendMend. Some of you heard them present yesterday, and they'll also have a booth in the showcase today. So SpendMend is going to help us with the purchase services partnership. We think that purchase services is an area of great opportunity, untapped savings, and we want to try to capture that savings this year by working with them and our members. Another area of untapped opportunity is the lab, and we are very fortunate and very excited this year to have started a lab advisory committee. And Larry pointed that committee out earlier, and that group has been very collaborative, very strong effort in trying to help us pursue savings in the lab space. One of the biggest areas is the clinical reference lab. It's a very expensive and complex area, so we're working with a partner there to help us drive some savings in that area. And they also want to take a look at productivity and molecular testing, a couple of other big areas that they find challenging in the lab, so we hope to help them with that. Another area we want to take a look at this year is clinical engineering. This is an area that we have not really done a lot of work in. We are working with one of our other business partners to see if we can explore ways to try to help our members optimize their biomed operations, and that's something we want to focus on this year as well. And of course, capital equipment. Again, for those who heard the MEGA presentation yesterday, MEGA Solutions is our partner that we work with in the capital equipment space. They helped us create the capital equipment savings program a few years ago. And so far, we've saved over $3 million in that program, and we hope to continue to grow that program with the rest of the membership. And they will also have a booth at the showcase today, so take a look with them as well. I think they'll be doing a demo there today. And finally, sustainability. That is something that has definitely been more of a challenge this year, especially with the political climate we're in now. But it is an area that's here to stay, and we want to try to work with our members to continue to focus on that. We are obviously in the business of taking care of people, and that means we need to be working together to collaborate in ways to make sure we help our environment and improve the environment that we live in and work in. And we do have a small group of members that are helping us determine how we can be prepared for sustainability in the future. We need to work together to help chart a course for a cleaner, safer, more sustainable future, and we encourage other members to join that committee and help us with that mission. With that, I'll turn it over to our newest member of our leadership team, Anne Marie Orlando, the VP of Clinical Services.
Great. Good morning, everyone. So for the clinical team, this year is going to be about evolution, growth, and the word of the day. So great, thank you, Steve Grubbs, collaboration. So we have two new people, and we've added to our team. First is Sarah Hobbs. Her clinical background is in surgical ICU, trauma, and in PACU. And she joins the Blue Point team as the Director of Clinical Programs. And she was also many years a value analysis manager at a 2,100-bed hospital system. So lots of experience on that side. And then there's Alexandria Carr. If you haven't had a chance to meet her, she's, I think, in the back there. If you give a little wave, please go say hi. She is our newest value analysis manager. She comes from a rich background of pediatric and still actually, I just found out yesterday, works in the NICU on the weekends to maintain her licensure. That is a specialty for sure. She has a different approach to value analysis where she was on the industry side and working with value analysis teams to bring forward the products, create those educational content, and working on implementation of the products that she was working with. And they join our already wonderful clinical team. So Jillian Jalbert, everyone knows Jillian back there. And not only in her work for Yankee Alliance, but she's also sits on the Certification Center Board of Directors for the Association of Healthcare Value Analysis Professionals, AKA AVAP. And that is the organization that I will be taking presidency in January. So I'm very excited for that. We're also supported by Claire Napland, our Senior Education and Clinical Content Director. And so why does that matter, that experience? Because it translates our expertise into impact. I know I speak for the clinical team that we are an extension of your teams. We want to be an extension of your teams. We want to be in the thick of it. We want to help you support evidence-based decision-making. We heard a lot yesterday about clinical product utilization. We want to help you grow your approach to those products, help implement that Blue Point team, help you with your Ascend Drive or your Surpass. You know, really lean on us for that to build those value analysis teams and processes. And so with that, all that expertise also helps drive forward those strategic operations at the level of PPI advisory group. It's member-driven, data-driven, and evidence-based. In addition to the Lynn and Rick, right, where we're not only providing cost savings opportunities, but also connecting to important regulations and guidelines that are important in the clinical realm. And with that, I thank you for being here. For the suppliers, thank you for supporting our organization. And I'd like to introduce Mike Rebell, the CTO of Blue Point and the Senior Vice President of Technology for Yankee.
Thank you, Anne Marie. Good morning. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about what we've been working on at Yankee Alliance and what we have coming in the future. We've heard a lot about collaboration. Whoop. There we go. Heard a lot about collaboration this morning, and Yankee recently launched our forums platform, which was designed to foster that collaboration. So for committees or initiatives that you're working on, it's a place to go to share information, ask questions, and really foster communication. In addition to the forums, we're also working on our analytics platform in terms of revising it to better align ourselves with Premier Analytics. We will be continually working to develop that platform in the future. Also, ongoing development on the Blue Point platform. Anne Marie mentioned the power of utilization. So we are continually taking feedback from the membership and incorporating those changes into the platform and working to build that out. We'll also be working on the website for Blue Point so that we can better explain the value of utilization in healthcare and value analysis. So those are a few of the things that are going to be happening over the course of the next fiscal year. And we will have some staff here later today to go into any of these platforms, questions in greater detail. With that, I would like to introduce Bob Ritchie, our Vice President of Pharmacy Services.
Thanks, Mike. Can we get another award for Berkshire? First, I just wanted to thank all the pharmacy folks for coming today. I think our first post-COVID conference, we had 4 members come. So we have 10 today. So to me, that's a victory. And this might be a stretch, but as the holidays approach, I thought I might do a little take on A Christmas Carol, kind of looking at past, present, and future. So over the past year, the Alliance has saved over $5 million in the pharmacy space through strategic commitment and collaboration. So I'd like to recognize a few of our vendor partners for making this possible. CSL, Octapharma, Grifols, Chiesi, Merck, Moderna, and McKesson. In November, we are hosting an expert panel to educate our members on the new 340B rebate program. And this was born from conversations that we had during our monthly contracting call. And it's really an effort for us to kind of keep members informed of critical pharmacy issues. And then in the future, we are exploring opportunities in the PBM space that could, I think, unlock significant savings for our members. And it's a little bit of a personal priority for me because I think PBMs pose special challenges for members. So, and then finally, I wanted to recognize our vaccine partners, GSK, Sanofi, Merck, Seqirus, and Moderna for their innovation and support in protecting public health. So now I'd like to introduce Matt Murphy, the VP of Strategic Member Growth.
Thanks, Bob. Good morning, folks. So I'm going to be brief. I want to talk a little bit about revenue growth. So as Melanie mentioned, this year alone, we actually brought back to the membership a little under $50 million in total value. And what continues to be a discussion point, both at the supply chain level and when we have our operating reviews with our C-suite members, they really want to know, how do we continue to increase that? How do we grow that? And really, what has been a touchy subject in the past is, how do we continue to grow administrative fees? How do we drive contract compliance and use more of the contracts through the GPO? So you can see on the screen here, this is a tool that we've been developing. Mike talked a lot about platform development and report development, and that's really been a focus for us. And this is one of those things that the members really want to see about, how do I continue to drive my contract compliance? So this is our contract utilization scorecard. It provides detail as far as what you're using as a contracted supplier through the GPO and really what you're not. And we have a really basic traffic light methodology to really show you the basics of what are you using and where are the opportunities from a revenue perspective. One of the things that the members have continued to say is, I want to know what the full value of the contract is. So we continue to push out savings opportunities, but what else is involved within that contract? Are there rebates associated? What is the admin fee? Am I getting the right percentage? So this is something we're going to continue to focus on. Savings will always be top priority, but this will also be part of that piece, so we have kind of a full understanding of really the contract itself. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Larry. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job, all. So today and over, wait, let me stop. Great job, right? Thank you. Appreciate it. Very good. Over these 3 days, our goal has been and will be to show you the value if you communicate, collaborate, connect, commit, and engage. Please take the opportunity to do so while we are here and after we leave this great meeting. In the interest of sharing and speed to knowledge, please visit each of our partners at this evening's Member Success Fair and cocktail party. Thank you so very much. Please stick around and join us for the Washington update, which will be starting in a few minutes. I promise you, you do not want to miss it right here. So thank you again.